channel at We Are a Camper. If you're new here, please go ahead and subscribe. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers. Come on, somebody. Yeah, 100 subscribers. Turn on your notification bell, and please tell somebody that at We Are a Camper is on the road to 100K. Anyway, guys, so here we're talking about snapping back, losing your weight, and just coming back to being who you are, before motherhood, or just generally any woman who just added weight, and what are the steps I've taken. But there's zero exercise, mainly because I do not have time. I'm telling you, motherhood is so much pressure, so tiring, it's so time consuming. Like 24 hours your mind is just constantly what am I doing? And then motherhood plus, I'm a pastor, I'm a content creator, and all these other career things, like it's just so much work. And I tried to lose weight by exercising. I think after 6 weeks my doctor allowed me to exercise. I tried running, I tried skipping, but I was not consistent like the time I really did. But I'm gonna go back to it because now my child is 1 year old, and so I think I have my schedule is more organized. By that time, when you have a newborn and you feed on demand, especially when you constantly breastfeeding, you don't know when your child will be awake, you don't know when they'll be sleeping, you don't know when you're breastfeeding, when you're not breastfeeding. And so this is actually even losing weight while breastfeeding, because we don't want mothers to stop breastfeeding just to snap back, right? Anyway, so the first thing I did personally, immediately I had my child, my hyperemesis gravidarum did not allow me to stop eating. So I was constantly eating. If you look at my delivery video, look at me when I'm pushing the baby. I have corn in my hand. I was constantly eating, because when I stopped eating, what happened is that I would throw up and just go on a series of throwing up and eat and just be choked by saliva and all that. It was horrible. So I had to constantly eat. I was always with food the entire 9 months. Can you imagine that? Hyperemesis gravidarum, I curse you to the ground in the mighty name of Jesus. Like, if you're going through that, or know somebody is going through HG, just pray for them, because it's a lot. It's just going through a lot. And so this happened just this fourth pregnancy, the constantly eating. The other one was just constantly throwing up. And so I added so much weight. When I got married, I was 58 kilograms. Actually, when I got engaged, it's August, we're celebrating, by the way, our engagement. If you haven't watched how we got married and how we got engaged and my crazy arranged marriage, please check out my lovely husband. And so I was 58 kilograms when I got engaged. By the time I got to the wedding, when I went to the Philippines, I was constantly eating. My mother-in-law was constantly eating me. She was like, you're just so thin, please eat. And so I was 60 kilograms by the day of my wedding day. This is my wedding picture, guys. And so I was 60 kilograms. And so from there until 4 children later, by the time I was having theophany, I was 94 kilograms. When I was pushing out the baby, I was 94 kgs. And so it just hit me so hard, because when I had the first baby, I only added 5. When I had Tehila, I only added 5 kilograms. So I got to 65, and so the weight didn't bother me, and I was okay. And so if that is you, this is not a video for you. And the second baby, I added another 5, so I moved from 65 to 70, and I was still fine. I was looking like this. I was okay, like it didn't bother me. And then I had the third baby, now 30, and I moved from 70 to 85. I was like, oh wait, what is this, guys? And that's when I even started the vlog. I was trying to lose weight, and I was off and on, nothing consistent. I was bothered, I was not bothered. The thing with moving from being a really small person to somebody that you're not used to dressing that body type, it's really hard. You're not used to a lot of things, and look at me, I like wearing my belt, and all of a sudden I couldn't. My stomach was just pouring all over, so it was so uncomfortable for me. So this is my personal journey. It was just so uncomfortable for me. And I remember even once we did a video where we were standing in a wedding of our friends. It was a Luya wedding, and one of the comments was, why would you wear such a dress when you're so big, you're so fat, your stomach is everywhere? And I was like, wow. I have 3 children, people. My stomach is allowed to be everywhere. But anyway, I decided not to take it negatively. I took it positively. Why is my camera person keeps moving? Come back. And so I took it positively, and I was like, okay, I am going to, you know, work on me, find myself. And so immediately after I pushed the baby, immediately that day, I cut out a lot of things, because my pregnancy was the one controlling me. My hormones were everywhere, so I was not my own. But now once I push the baby, I can control myself. The hormones are out, although they're still fluctuating. You want cocoa, you want this. I decided I'm gonna be disciplined, like discipline, y'all. So that's number 1, is discipline. So the first thing I cut out all sugar, like anything to do with sugar, I cut it out. And let me tell you, once you cut out sugar from your life, that is the number 1 step to a glorious life, because first of all, your breast milk is healthier, very healthy, and so the baby is not irritable. And anybody who's breastfeeding will tell you, let's say you eat a chocolate or you have some ice cream and then you feed your baby, you know, some hours later, the baby is just, that sugar transfers, and the baby will just be constantly crying here and there, and you're wondering, what did I eat, what is going on here, you know? So cutting out sugar, it really helps me a lot, because number 1, that means I'm not eating any chocolates, I'm not eating any pastries, any cakes. I love baking. If you're on my Instagram, you'll see I'm constantly baking, like, you know, and testing here and there. And so I cut all that out, pancakes and all these things. And then another thing I cut out was gluten and useless carbohydrates. And so now I'm eating healthy. So if I have to eat carbohydrates, I am eating ugali. I am eating that's our staple food. It's made of corn, white corn. And so, and just the original ugali, not the one that you go and buy, the one that you go to the shamba, to the garden, get it, take it to the shaga yourself. And then and with your skuma that you've grown yourself, organic. One thing about going healthy is that organic thing is where you want to go. And so I'm sorry, I'm outdoors and the wind just keeps disturbing me. But anyway, I really look at those. Yeah, I call them my State House earrings, because that's what I went with to the State House. Thank you, Jesus, for that. But anyway, back to the point is that I was went into a healthy lifestyle, and while considering the milk that I need to produce, because you need healthy milk that the baby will still be full, not that you're starving yourself. Eat sweet potatoes, those are my carbohydrates. I'll eat arrowroots, that's nduma. I would eat my ugali. I would eat brown rice. I cut out white rice, anything white, you know, white breads and these pastries. I'm telling you, I cut all that out. And so I'm telling you, you get such healthy, rich milk. I put in a lot oatmeal in my breakfast with fruits, and so that's the kind of diet I entered into immediately. I didn't wait for, like, immediately I pushed the baby. That's it. And number 2, I had tummy, what is it called, a waist trimmer, you know, the ones you, okay, right now I'm not wearing any right now, so this is my real stomach. But 6 weeks after you deliver, that 6 weeks is so important. If you do not tie your tummy, if you do not tie your waist, and it is so important to tie it, because if you lose those 6 weeks, you're going to have a hard time losing that weight. Now you'll have to exercise hard, because I think there's a window within the stomach. The elasticity can be put back by shutting it, you know, like, you know what I mean. I think I'll put a picture here. I don't know where my exact one is. And so I used to wear it 24 hours, by the way, only when I'm not showering. For 6 weeks, for 24 hours, I was very, very diligent with my tummy, whatever it's called, I've forgotten, my waist my waist trainer. Yes, my waist trainer. So what it does, see, your stomach has expanded from having a baby. If you've seen my pregnancy pictures, my stomach is like really big, and so within those 6 weeks it just shrinks back, and the more you breastfeed, your stomach contracts. So when it finds the waist trainer, it helps you to go back within those 6 weeks. I'm telling you, after 6 weeks you can give it up, because your stomach will have snapped back. In our times they say you tie a lacer, but now we are modern, so we have the waist trainers. And the 29 stillborn or 25 stillborn, those are the ones that you want to look at. So you want a waist trainer that's really bringing back your waist, and you just take it all in. You take it all in, all the discomfort, because later the discomfort will be you have to exercise it out. And I've seen it when I had my other previous children, like you have to exercise it out because you've missed the window where you could tie it. And so and after that I just continued with, and this is another thing, I didn't implement cheat days, because once I noticed when you have a cheat day, you'll go all out. And then what happens if on Wednesday you want something sweet? Let's say your cheat day was on Sunday. What happens if on Saturday you want something sweet? So I'll just move with my body. If my body feels like it's okay with the healthy lifestyle for 7 days without a cheat day, it's fine. What happens is that if I feel like after 2 days I want to taste something sweet, I'll go ahead, I'll eat my Oreo, and I won't deny my body that. Because what happens when you constantly deny is when you decide to eat, you will eat everything. You'll buy the ice creams, you'll buy all the chocolates and everything, and it will be very hard to come back. And so when you feel like you want to, go ahead and cheat, and that's it, and then just go back to your healthy lifestyle, and you find you have more energy. This is another thing. So you'll have more energy and your brain is more open. So I did not implement any exercise in losing weight. Oh, did I tell you how much I lost? So I lost 20 kgs. I was 94. When the baby came out, I was 91. And so right now I'm 71. And so so that's 20 kilograms. It's about 40 pounds. And that's within the year. That's another thing. Don't have unrealistic goals. The one thing with losing weight, if you lose it fast, you will gain it fast. But when you stretch out the timeline, when you stretch out your goals, like, okay, let me lose like 2 kilograms or a kilogram a week, 2 pounds a week, that way you don't gain it back immediately. If you lose fast, you'll eat one meal, and I assure you it'll all be back. Like everything will be back. Like you'll be like, what am I doing? And you'll be in a cycle. So another thing, stretch out your losing weight goals. That's why I know I've been requested like since 3 months after I had my baby. It was already evident, like I was starting to lose a little weight, and so we're like, oh, tell us what you're doing. What are you doing? I'm like, no, I'm not talking about this. And that's why it has taken me 1 year to talk about this, because I don't want to pressurize any woman out there, any mother out there, and tell you, oh, how to lose your baby fat in 3 months, how to lose your baby fat in 6 months. No, this has taken me 1 year to lose 20 kilograms. I'm not at the target weight that I want to be. I want to lose at least a little bit more. Hopefully, God willing. All right, and lastly, my church schedule. I have been in line with our church schedule. Our senior pastor has been putting out on a lot of fasting. Like we fasted 21 days in January, and then we fasted again in May, another 21 days. Then went 40 days for the country, and then in September we're about to go on another one. And so I've been doing those fasts with the church, and so I talked about this, how to fast while you're breastfeeding. Check that video out. So those 3 main things are what have literally kept my weight off. So number 1 was sugar. Like, cut out sugar, guys. Leave sugar alone. Like, sugar is so bad for you. Anything with sugar, say goodbye. I'm a mama, I need my brain working. Anyway, and then secondly, the useless carbohydrates that I've talked about bread and gluten, all these things, the wheats and the rices, white rice and all that, just useless carbs. Like those carbs, just do away with those things. Like, just cut them out. Like, they're doing nothing good for you. And trust me, they're not there giving you milk. You can drink uji. Uji is millet, and it gives you great milk, and you're like, wow, your baby's drinking until they're burping, and so just cut out useless carbohydrates. You'll just find a lot of eating, snacking here and there. Just cut all that out. You're feeding a baby. you know. It's not like you, and that's while you're breastfeeding. After you breastfeed, now you can go complete yeah, you can start going extremes, like cutting out a lot of things, and just cutting them out. All right, so those three main things is what worked for me. I know there's so many other things. Personally, also I want to enter into a time of exercise because my child now is 1 year old. She's much bigger, and so I can organize myself. And so also want everybody, I hope you learned something. If you have any question, any challenge, or anything that you just want to ask me, you can find me on Instagram at Liz Muyu Ocampo, or you can comment below and I'll go ahead and answer you. That has been my weight loss journey. That has been my snapback mommy journey. I now I constantly go out and people, I tell them I'm a mother of four. They're like, what? No. And so it's just something that I really needed to do for me. Again, this for me, this could not be your journey. Everybody has a different journey, but that was my journey, and I felt like I really needed to do this. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for turning on your notification bell. Exactly. Thank you, and God bless you. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and tell your friend to tell a friend, and let's go lose that weight. We're going to enter into an exercise time. I say we because I want to go with some of you. Let's do this into 21 days of exercise, jumping, skipping rope. If you're into it, please guys, reach me out on my Instagram and let's start that group, and we got 21 days in September of skipping rope.